What's going on, guys? MariK here. Last week we covered all of the maps for the classic Battlefront 1 game, went over their layouts, and talked strategy for each of the various factions. This week we'll be talking about the maps in Battlefront 2, going over the changes to the maps that have come from the first game, discussing strategies for the new maps that are new to the second game, and going over various strategies for each faction on each map. Utapau can be a really interesting map to play on. This is actually the map that was in the playable demo, and I mean, I got so many hours just on this map alone from that demo. The command posts are a little bit different than they were in that demo as well, but not really relevant here. When you're playing as the Empire and the Clones, you get the hangar. When you're playing as the Rebels and the Droids, you get the outpost, and then the landing, the street, the plaza, and what I'm calling new demo, because it's basically where they moved the demo command post to, and I didn't want to have two that were named street. Those are all for neutral. Landing is a good command post to have. It is close to the hangar, and it's in the middle of the area where a lot of action happens. Plaza is the other area. However, that one, you kind of have your back to the wall, literally. But there is a walkway at the top where you can do some sniping. You can, pick off some enemies from above. But with the wall behind you, splash damage can really work against you. So rockets, explosives, vehicles can all take advantage of that. The street and new demo are the command posts that a lot of stuff will happen there, but I feel like the majority happens just in the center of the map. Hangar and outpost, nothing's happening there unless you're getting really into the late game, getting to the end game, and you're pushing that final command post. I don't think it's worth trying to sneak around to steal those command posts. Now, granted, if you're the Empire and the Clones, you can get to outpost easier if you take street and then new demo and make your way up. But for the Rebels and the Droids, it's a lot harder to get to hangar and take it, so I definitely don't recommend taking that one until the very end. As with all the bigger maps, the first thing you can do is grab an engineer and grab the ATRT and start waddling your way up to street. You could take it over to landing, but because you are taking this little failed prototype of the ATST, it's not really going to fit over there, and you'll want to have it up this direction anyways to be able to stop the opponent from advancing. And also, how did I get that freaking betrayal? And to try and stop them from getting the new demo. See, once they take new demo, then they get this AAT, and I am just all about destroying the shit out of this thing before they even take it. Come on. Because in all honesty, even if they do take it, at least if we've gotten it in such terrible shape that I don't understand how am I getting kills? How am I getting like team kills? This is absolutely wild. This is not Halo. I am not the betrayer on this. This has to stop. They are being a lot more active coming from this command post, and I'm really surprised because, like I said, it doesn't usually happen. You usually see a lot from the outpost. Up there, right there on that platform, that's where the command post was in the demo, and that's why I've just elected to call that other command post new demo, just for the sake of, because I don't really feel like I need another reason. Ugh. See, these walkers are so bad, I have to go all the way around because I can't walk up that tiny little lip there. Oh, apparently the walker can't even go in this command post, so that's something. Alright, so we're going to go in here. We're going to get shot up a bunch. We're going to stand here by/under the staircase. They're going to run and jump and just go... Oh, well, this one's not. Alright, this one is in the command post. It is literally like my bullets are just going straight through him. There we go. Nope, get out. It's too late. This is mine. They do appear to have destroyed my walker, though, so that's a shame. But we've taken the outpost, and yeah, really, this is where the game gets kind of bad, because there's a tank down there. Definitely don't recommend going in there and ham-boning it. Oh, whoa. Oh, this one lived. What? I have upsetment. See, they are trying to make a push for the hangar right now, but again, it's just not, it's not the command post to push for unless that's all that the enemy has left. And clearly that's not all we have left. When playing as infantry, you could head straight for the street command post to go ahead and take that one and attempt to make your way up to new demo. This does kind of put you in a bit of a danger zone, though, because they do have the vehicles that come down here, and granted yours do as well, but you're kind of trying to get ahead of the enemy and get ahead of your own troops so you can take the command post before the enemy gets there. And these ones in particular are just, they're a little rougher, even though they are kind of separated from the ones on the lower ground in the center. We are having a relatively decent time trying to take this one, though, so that's working in our favor. Now, the enemy will spawn up here for a couple of reasons. One, because the outpost is right there and they're spawning at the outpost, but also because they can come from that direction right there and come up around the wall, because even though they're technically spawning at the plaza command post, they can spawn on that upper walkway, like I was discussing before, and by doing so, they can just walk around and they're just right here. This command post does feature, or this X command post does feature an ammo droid, so that's kind of nice, I guess. The other option when playing as infantry, and probably the better option, is to take the landing. It does put you a little more in line of sight of the tanks that'll spawn down there once they take the plaza. I don't honestly know if you can take the plaza before they do, because it is so much closer to their starting command post at the outpost, but it might be doable. You might actually be able to run over there with a sharpshooter. When spawning as the infantry, you can also go straight to the landing command post. It's probably the easier one to go to. I mean, granted, taking it versus taking streets, there's no difference in difficulty as far as that's concerned, but streets doesn't feel like it gives you as much of a tactical advantage as having one of these command posts down here. If the enemy actually managed to take this command post from you, then you're kind of put in a rougher position, because then they have both the command posts down here. Possibly, if you play it as a sharpshooter, you could get down all the way down to the plaza command post before the enemy and take it from them. But I don't know how. I don't know how much I trust that strategy. We actually managed to take the plaza command post from them, anyways. And granted, that super battle droid dropped straight off the edge to take this tank, and yep, that's the problem. Is you go for that, you go for this command post. If there's a tank there, good chance you're getting fucked up. The worst part about having the plaza is that it's such a hot spot for the enemy, because they have that ramp that leads straight down to it from the outpost, and so they're constantly just flooding troops in here to come after you. And you know, having the low ground isn't the best option either. Now, if you happen to be playing as either a jet trooper or a dark trooper, you can just jump right up there, or jet up there, and kind of take the fight to them. I don't know which way I honestly suggest, because going up the ramp, you're putting yourself at a perspective disadvantage. When playing as the rebels and the droids, you have two options. You can go towards the new demo command post, or you can go towards the plaza. In this instance, we're going to go towards new demo, and we're playing as an engineer for the sake of doing this, because if we take this command post and then a tank spawns, then we can actually just take the tank. And if it doesn't, well then, I mean, having the shotgun isn't the worst thing. And also the health and ammo packs will help kind of keep you alive. So it's kind of a win-win situation there. And there's the tank. They've already started shooting the tank. They're pulling my bullshit right now. Alright, so we've already taken... well, we haven't taken it yet, but we've pretty much taken street. Because it's empty and it's ours. Now over there at the landing, where they're spawning, or where you could say they're landing, there's a lot of them hanging out over there, and I'm not really sure why. I mean, it's, you know, free firing range at that point. You just have to be careful, because obviously these things are very weak to multiple rockets, and, I mean, players aren't going to hesitate to swap to a rocket class. It's different than it would be in the first game, because it's like you have to play as a heavy trooper, and then you have to commit to it. Whereas in this, it's like, damn it, there's somebody playing in a fucking vehicle. Hang on. Let me swap real quick. Now, if you actually wanted to play as the infantry class, you can head towards the new demo once again and take that command post. I like to pick the sniper when doing this, because you can look all the way down the street, and you can pick off enemies as they walk up it. But there's also this walkway on the right that you can see that... oh, that was... there we go. Oh, frickin' the tank almost spawned right on top of me. So you can go this way. And... that's the same one. Oh, I want to get him. Damn it. There we go. See? Sniped right off the walker. Now, granted, it won't take that long before somebody else just goes and grabs it, because the AI is definitely prone to taking advantage of empty walkers. That may honestly just be a good reason to pick the fucking sniper on this map. Just find a good place to snipe, and then just start blasting the guys out of walkers. You can walk all the way up to this part of this walkway, and you've got pretty good coverage of the landing command post and a good portion of the front of hangar. However, it does leave you pretty exposed. You could set your turret up to kind of take some shots at enemies that might happen to walk close enough, but oh, come on. They move as soon as I shoot. See, in the upside to this, I got the beam rifle. And while it is a bit of a wonky weapon and it does have its disadvantages, I was just about out of ammo. And then when you get the award weapon, it gives you a full weapon. And that's so nice of them. A lot of maps you can spawn and play as a sniper, but certain maps like this kind of give you parts of the map where it's much more beneficial to play as a sniper. And I definitely feel like this is one of them. You just have to be really aware of your surroundings and definitely understand that if you lose track of what's around you, you're definitely fucked. If you have the regular sniper, I would use all of the ammo in the regular sniper rifle first, and then switch to the award rifle. Since it counts as two different weapons, it has its own ammo as well. You also have the option of spawning, and instead of heading towards new demo, just heading straight for plaza. Even with heading towards plaza, there's so many different variables with what you can do with it. The first thing, of course, you want to take the command post, because it is one of the more important command posts to have. But if you decide you want to spawn as the engineer, you can take the command post, wait for the tank to spawn, and take advantage of the fact that the tank has bigger guns than most of the infantry. If you like to snipe, you can spawn and head straight for the plaza as well. You can head towards the upper walkway up here, and not only do you have just an amazing vantage point as far as being able to snipe, but you also, that was not intended, You also have the ammo droid that's up here as well, over right here. While being next to the ammo droid does kind of hurt your vantage point a little bit, you've got the pillars for... I cannot hit this guy. There we go. You've got the pillars for cover, and you've got the ammo droid. There's no health up here, but you can run around the corner back to the command post and grab more health. You can also go all the way over here, which goes more towards the streets command post. This will give you a better vantage point of the landing, and it'll give you a closer vantage point to those spawning at... Whoa! You could also, if you wanted, just take the plaza straight from the source, and if you're, standing close enough to it, you can actually take it whilst sniping the enemy. So you get some early kills in, you get your early points in, get your team a very favorable command post, and at this point, you're far enough away, enemy players could snipe you, but you're getting an early lead on them, whether they try to or not. You could even disrupt them from getting the landing, which it looks like we may have done. Downside right now is this tank that is clearly malfunctioning. Then lastly, if you're not a fan of sniping or any of the previously mentioned strategies, you can take the plaza as just like a regular B2 super, or you could even run ahead and take the landing, and just to give your faction a bigger advantage than you already would have. Your allies are going to be close enough to take the plaza anyways, and right now, just with that very small sprint ahead, we've now confined them to their starting command post and then the streets, which is just not a great command post to have anyways. Well, you just destroyed that. And look up there, there's a freaking clone using our strategy. So that's going to be it for our strategic map overview of Utapau Sinkhole. Regardless of which faction you're playing, which way you're going on the map, there's so many different ways to play it, strategies to take. It's really fun and gives you a lot of options, which makes it a good map. And it's honestly, it's one of the most iconic locations from the saga, just because, it's where there was a major Clone Wars battle. It's where Obi-Wan fought and killed Grievous, and it's just like, it's a good map. It's a fun map. It's not one of my favorites. There's a bit of everything for everyone, whether you like to snipe, play in vehicles, just play as infantry, play as specialists. There's so many ways that you can play this map that no way is actually wrong. Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection comes out in just 2 weeks, so we hope to see you on the Battlefront.